Oh, hello. Huh. I was going to say, didn't see you there. That awfully cheesy thing that I could have said then, but I didn't do because I have a little bit of restraint. Now, if you've seen the thumbnail, then you will know that actually I'm going to do something tonight rather than just sit around chatting. That is to make a chili. It's something I've done in a live stream before, of course, and something I'm sure I will do again at another point as well. Now, I thought I was going to be a bit more adventurous on this channel than what I currently am, but it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy at all. But so, what we have then are the mince. Currently doing some garlic and onions. I've got a nice green pepper, some actual chilies, a bit of ginger, salt, pepper, tomatoes, and kidney beans as well. But I want to make it a bit more. So I'm going to add something ever so slightly sweet to it and ever so slightly chocolatey to it. Now, have you heard of this one before? Tiny bit of chocolate, tiny bit of cocoa powder into chili actually makes a rather interesting and nice flavour. Also, so we don't want to have just, the trouble is, chili, right? It's not exactly that big a thing, is it? It's a bit too easy. It's a bit lacking in any real depth. So this one's going to have a little bit of cinnamon as well, and cumin, a little bit of cumin. So I'm going to put these here. There we go. And then I'm going to just see who's with me tonight. Before I start properly getting on with it, I'll quickly have a look, see who's here, and then volume down. All the volumes are down. Right, it's good. I'll try to make this quick because otherwise I'll not get around to doing any cooking and that won't be any good, will it? Live chat. And we've got Jimmy Quinn is here. Good afternoon, Jimmy Quinn. Or good evening, in fact, Jimmy Quinn. Welcome to this live stream tonight. Trisha Alderman. I wonder when that would start. What a lovely heartfelt video. Thank you very much. Yeah, I might brush upon that afterwards, actually, come to think of it. Phantom is here. Let's go mustard cream. Hello, I am your friendly resident moderator, says the Greenwood, riding on a wave of love that Mustard's latest video is getting from the community. If you haven't already seen it, you should do later after this. Well, yeah, it certainly seems to have hit the spot then. Usual rules apply, no spam or repeats or politics, don't be a dick to channel members, etc. And good evening, and there we go, caught up already. Isn't that amazing? That is rather unusual. That means I can just crack on with some cooking. Pam. Dry fry the mince. Dry fry. It's not really dry, but you don't need any oil in it because there's enough oil in the mince. That is if you buy the same kind of stuff that I do. And I don't really see the point in buying expensive stuff because then you've got to add oil to it. And oils become really rather exceedingly expensive of late. Normally, I have myself a nice, one of these from Lidl or Aldi, 750 millilitres. Used to cost just over £4 not so long back. Now it's knocking on for £8. So that's a bit of a disaster area. I think maybe what's happened is that so many people have discovered that using vegetable oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, what have you, is just not a particularly good thing to use. Practical, cheap, but ever so slightly poisonous. So more people have been going to olive oil, and supply and demand. Everybody wants it, everybody's going to have to pay for it. That's definitely the way, isn't it? Oh, just as I start cooking, of course, then we have quite a few people turn up, so I will actually say hello to them all right now. We've got plenty of time for this. Although, see what I'm going to do? I'm going to bung in the garlic with the mince straight away. And, where was we to? There, Rover Joe is here. Hello, Rover Joe. How fantastic to have you here tonight. And good job on your sill welding thing. You're cracking on with that, aren't you, mate? Two String Productions is here. Hello. Hello, Charlotte Caniston. Hello, Charlotte. And then, oh, right, no, that's it. You know, a few people turned up and just said hello to each other. What will it be like tonight? Will it be one of these where just people turn up and just say hello to each other, and that's all we do? Maybe. And I'm new, says whoever you are, Elizabeth. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Indeed, although I've run out of gas today, so I need to get some more tomorrow. What a spiffing today, what a spiffing video. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Yes, of course you commented on it as well. Taylor Barham, can you sing? Sort of, I suppose. Yeah, I can sort of sing. I know where the notes should be. So yeah, I guess you could say I can. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's G Advanced Crack the Dream. Hi from India. Welcome. Don't forget to like the live stream, everybody. It all helps to turn us down a bit. It really does help as well. Straight away, I'm going to bung in the old salt and the pepper as well. That helps. I always do that. Quite a bit of salt. That's quite a bit of salt. Is it too much? Don't know. Does it taste right? Yeah. Do we want it to taste right? Yeah. Do we want lots of black pepper as well? Black pepper, one of the wonders of cooking. And a bit more. And as this is gently, actually trying a bit too gently now, not trying quite enough, I shall get on and start chopping up the other onion. 2 onions I'm using for this, which does seem to be about the right amount. I can't resist, I've just got to have a look. I've got to have a look. Can you sing for us? No, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing on a live stream, no. Hello, looks like a chili today. Are you having rice or pasta? I'm not going to have either. I'm just going to cook the chili and eat a bit of it, and then it might. I mean, I could make some rice, but I'm not sure if I can be bothered with it. Try it. It's an Indian food dish. It's delicious. Example: butter chicken. Ah, no, you mentioned this yesterday. Yes. I do make curries more than anything else. I don't necessarily go by the actual proper recipes, but some will. In fact, well, I mean, I don't really go by recipes with anything, to be absolutely honest. Yes. Right, now, is anybody on here friends with Joseph Lloyd? Because he's just asking if he can drive to Nigel tomorrow. And if you are, let him know he can. Right, what was I talking about? Oh yes, this food. This food. Now, 1 second again. Please. Please, no. Please, please what? No, I'm not. I do suggest rice, says Denise Maiden. I do as well. I mean, that is the thing to have. You don't have pasta with chili. I mean, you could do. There's nothing really wrong with having pasta with chili, except that it's just not really what goes with it somehow. I see a message from Charlotte there as well. History of full of what ifs. The historical event. Do you think you could have a completely different outcome? Oh, let's read that again. History is full of what ifs. Yes. With what historical event do you think could have had a completely different outcome? Well, all of them, I'd say, really. All of them. Because it only takes the tiniest little change, somebody to just not turn up, or somebody to put something down incorrectly, or I saw I saw a meme before. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But it was a picture of a boy and a priest, and it said that this particular priest saved this boy, 4-year-old boy, from drowning, and that 4-year-old boy turned out to be Adolf Hitler. Now, if that's true, then that's one of those rather special moments, isn't it? What would you do if that's true, and you had the opportunity to make that change and say to the priest, no, don't save the boy because he's going to commit mass murder, or really going to get other people to do it for him? Or would you say, well, actually, currently, that's not really the case, is it? Because it's something else would change in the meantime that would make him a bit less of a megalomaniac. All the people have gone again. All the people have gone again. I've seen that picture. Oh, what, that picture behind me? Oh, that picture, right, yeah, sorry. I am dim sometimes, you realise it. I am capable of some rather interesting and profound thoughts and very imaginative musings, but I miss the most obvious things all the time. It's amazing. Yeah. Hello and all, says Hooked on Classics, which is Simone. Hi, Simone. Well, thank you for popping in. What next do we want inside here? Well, I'm going to say the cumin. And then the onions. Cumin is one of those spices that can tolerate a good bit of cooking. It's not the same with all. Some don't like it. Some get upset by being cooked for a length of time. Not cumin. Cumin's happy with it. Be careful not to drop stuff on the floor. Now this is mostly just going to be left gently cook again now. Oh, pepper, of course. You want the old green pepper in there. So let's cut this up as well. Well, I'm doing it again. I am incapable of talking at the same time as using a knife. Maybe it's some sort of safety thing on the go, where you're handling a sharp knife. You're best off doing the knifing bit and then doing the talking bit afterwards. That's probably all it is. Right, I'll turn this down. sit down and see whether there's anything to have a chat about. Peppers do like to be cooked for a long time as well. Green peppers are excellent. Excellent. Oh, and in case you're interested, which you might be, I'm going to leave this like this to kind of cook and mulch down somewhat to make it nice, so the onions properly caramelise, etc. And let's put that there so I remember. Balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar does a lovely job of just breaking down the meat a little bit as well, which is used in the same purpose as what you would do with red wine. Let's see if there's anybody to talk to right now. Live streaming is strange. The minute the words come out your mouth, it's gone already. So I'm not alone in thinking this. Yeah, I find actually it's almost, remember some of the things I'm talking about, but I do feel somewhat like I go on the kind of automatic pilot. I didn't when I first started doing live streams, but as I got into it, I found that I feel like I switch off to a degree. And the best ones are where you just go off on some sort of strange tangent and you properly, I don't know what it is, but your brain does some very, very strange things when you're under pressure enough to, where you feel like you've got to just keep on talking and just keep having something coming out. It's magnificent, it's wonderful. Hooked on Classic says, I've just uploaded a video on my second channel. I've noticed quite a few people have two channels these days. Yes, they do, and there's a good reason for it, really. Well, take for example my new video that I put up. If I put that on Project Nigel, it would have had an awful lot of views by now. Not the 150 or so that it does have, which for this particular channel is actually quite good. But it would have had probably, well, I don't know what the number would be, but it'd be an awful lot. But I reckon I would get unsubscribers from that video because it's just not really that relevant. The only thing that's relevant is the car. Is the car that is on the channel, and the channel's about these cars. So, but it needs to be a bit more than that, doesn't it? Once you can't just feature a car in there and say, yeah, this channel's all about cars because there's a car in there. There are cars everywhere, aren't they? So it doesn't work like that. And I remember what's he called? Matt Richardson, Furious Driving, saying he'd opened up a new channel called Postbag or something like that. Furious letter opening, whatever it was. I can't remember what his other channel's called. And he said on one of his introductory videos that he's having to do this because he wants to do these other bits of things like opening things that he gets sent to him and stuff. But every time he does, he gets people unsubscribing because not everybody's watching it to see that. In fact, probably the majority aren't. But you'll get the occasional 2 or 3 people that are particularly invested in you as a person and not just the channel. And they're the ones that you take with you to your second channel where you do all your more kind of personal things. And I think that's why. And presumably, Prajom. Hello, Prajom. That's what you're doing as well. Right, you want to know something? I'm cooking chili right now, says Denise Maiden. Now, is that because I'm cooking it, or just happened to be a coincidence? Either way, let's see who finishes theirs off first. Right, so Simone said an odd day. Odd good, or odd bad, or odd things are changing. Odd bad, oh dear. Well, unfortunately, I suppose whilst you're doing any kind of things on cars, if that's what it is, actually, there's always the days that things don't go to plan. For me, it's every day pretty much. Excuse me while I do a bop. Bop, 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 bop. Windy Miller says soap. Yeah, I used some of that earlier on. Contrary to what many may believe, I do take a shower quite often. How do you make your chili so I can follow? Asks Denise Maiden. Well, that's what I'm doing now, isn't it? So, I mean, I don't do the same every time, but today I'm going to do it. You know, you fry off your meat and your onions and your garlic, and you add salt and pepper, and I've added a bit of cumin to it this time. I'm going to have some fresh chilies in there, though that's a rather dangerous game because you just don't know how hot they're going to be. I'm also going to add 2 ingredients. One of them is a spoonful or half a spoonful of cocoa powder and a spoonful of mango chutney as well as the other bits that go in there. Other than that, it's a nice straightforward recipe. It's not exactly difficult to make. You can't go that far wrong with it. You know, if you do a chili and it goes completely wrong, you add in some ingredients that really don't even belong in the kitchen, never mind in the chili, because it's just quite an easy one to make. Right, okay. Oh, good evening, Mustard and Friends, says Stephen S. Paul. I can confirm I have uploaded nothing to my second channel, just like the first one. Well, I thought so. Imagine having, well, I mean, actually, there are quite a few people, some that follow my channel, either one or the other, that like to have other accounts, whether it's for watching different kind of things on or just for having another personality that they can entertain us with. Hello, wow, Dino Dad. Hello, Squishy Pumpkins. That's a rather fabulous thing to say, actually. Squishy Pumpkins. They sound great. Does anybody like pumpkins, though? I thought they were just for smashing up after Halloween. I don't think I've ever even eaten one. But, however, pumpkin seeds are really good. Pumpkin seeds are really high in magnesium, I believe. Welcome, Ross. Welcome indeed. And a sneaky preview. I will be uploading nothing later on too. That's keeping it real. Oh. I'm doing a gaming channel, Mustard. Buying gaming. Wow. Well, that's interesting. To be honest, I don't really do gaming at all. But I know lots of other people do. And it's a rather popular thing to be doing. So, you know, good luck with that. I hope it works out. Miss Circle. Hi. Hello, Miss Circle. Welcome to the live stream. I wonder why people subscribe to a channel that you would imagine you imagine they're enjoying the content, but as soon as one film they don't like so much appears, that's it. They're off and unsubscribing. Yeah, well, I've experienced that before, and but it's such an obvious point. But you can't please everyone. You really can't. You can't. And why should you? Why should you please everyone? I mean, if you could please everyone, that would really, really be unfair, wouldn't it? If you could please everyone, then everyone would start to dislike you for having this special, like, superhero talent, and then suddenly you wouldn't be able to please anyone because it's not really fair. You're not playing by the same rules as anybody else. But yeah, the thing is, I suppose, you don't really want to be going too far off the subject. So the Nigel channel for me is sticking strictly about cars. I did venture into the kitchen a couple of times with it, and they were very, very unpopular. I've also ventured into other things ever so slightly, and they're always going to be unpopular. So if it's not about cars, fixing things, reviewing cars, or messing around with WD-40, you're not really likely to get anywhere with it, or I'm not likely to do. And so, as I am a bit more than just messing around in cars, with cars, then this channel just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Steve W Steve W. Looks like black lines. Hello, Mustard and all. Welcome. I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? Says Greenwood. Hi, Steve. Black lines. Yeah. It is bizarre, I suppose. If you have one video that's different, then you get people unsubscribing. One of my first videos that was a bit different, that I was always really happy with, was a couple of years back, out on a Sunday, and I just stopped. I just kept stopping and taking pictures of the countryside around the Saddleworth, where we happen to be. Quite a lot of shots of Nigel, bridges, the wind, cars going past, and close-ups of plants and bits of stringy things on fences, and I can't remember what the video is called, but it's kind of like the beautiful scenes around wherever it was, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a particularly nice thing to look at. It wasn't funny. There was no information in there. It was just images, and I'm very, very keen on imagery, and I think it quite often comes across in my usual videos, but it's something I'd like to expand on quite a bit more. But I know that channel's not really the right place to do it because nobody really cared for it. Well, I say nobody, not that many people. Thought I could hear a car alarm then. Steve W. Oh, I forgot, so I changed my name. Yeah, it's me, BL. See, the thing is, you can completely change your identity by changing your name and your profile picture. But why would you want to do that? So black lines, I think we can presume, is called Steve. I'm already halfway done. Need to cook rice and chop onions, says Denise Maiden. Ah, right. So you're leaving the onions till quite late then, aren't you, really? Unless you like your onions raw, they're not going to be that well cooked. I spotted you. Right, okay. Hi, Steve. Have you ever seen the film Alien? Asks Rev King. I have. I've seen the first Alien film and the second one quite a long time ago. Long enough for it to actually give me nightmares and become a bit worried about going to sleep. Because that's the early 80s, wasn't it? Alien was about 1980, 1981, something like that. Now these days I could watch it and it wouldn't really give me nightmares because I'm a grown-up. But at the time, it did. Horror films and small, young people are not really a very good mix. In fact, I don't really quite get horror films at all. Depending on what kind though. I quite like a cheesy zombie film. But anything where it starts to become a bit real. Gory stuff or stuff like Saw. I don't really get why that's nice to watch. Even worse, where we have any kind of scenes where animals or children get hurt, it's just I can't watch something like that. It takes 3 duffers to get me unsubscribing, or the host uses one of my disliked phrases. Now that is worthwhile information. The host could use one of your disliked phrases. I'm going to dare you, Windy, to actually tell me what one of these phrases are, and I'll tell you whether I would ever use one of those anyway. In Scotland, says Dino Dad, we used to put baked beans in chili. Yeah, they don't really spoil it as far as I'm concerned because they give it that sweetness. Nice soft beans in tomato sauce that's very sweet as well. It works. It's just, baked beans are just so processed, aren't they, with that sauce there. I'd rather have something like that I make myself. Right, so Wealthy Mindset Frame is here and says, why are you so slow at reading comments? I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking my time. What is the rush? Because he's discussing comments, says the Greenwood, he's not here just to read them out like a shopping list. He's responding, says Windy, rather than just reading them. It's good, isn't it? Thank you, Windy. Yes, yes, thank you very much. It doesn't need to respond like a snail. Oh, gosh, that sounds a bit like... Well, actually, it sounds like not your kind of live stream at all. This could be... It's going to take far too long for us to get onto the discussion of trying to make people want to earn lots of money by introducing them to some sort of scam. Steve W. Tracy, what is the correct spelling of your name? But there's quite a few different ones, aren't there, really? But the correct one, make a move on. The proper way. I've had this one before, actually. TYS 1865. Eat one of your fish. Well, I would do if they were bigger and I ate my pets, but they're not, and I don't. And TY, that reminds me of Tyler. What's happened to Tyler? Tyler was one of the great community people here, but he seems to have disappeared. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It's the best way to respond, says Windy. Thank you. I'll remember. People always ask, is it Stephen with a V or Stephen with a PH? And I always say, no, it's with an S. You need a name like Stephen for that to work. I think I might start my channel with milling videos from a windmill, but then pivot into Excel tips. Done. Oh, what's done? Well, have you finished your chili already, Denise? Aliens are landing outside. Yeah. Well, could they land inside? They'd have to be small enough to get through the gaps without you noticing. Alien 1979. Ah, right. I see. So it's more or less rather than. But maybe there was. I think I watched it on a video, a VHS or a Betamax, and yeah, I regretted watching it. I was lazy. I had pizza for dinner. I've had some pelmeni at pelmeni, my favourite communist food, says Windy Miller. And Steve is pizza would go down very nicely right now. I'm starving, but on a fast, which is very slow. Oh, are you fasting for health reasons then? Well, you don't. I presume that's what it is. Yeah. Mustard. What is that tattoo on your arm? Well, I can just show you. It's there. Lots of people have asked this one before. Actually, it's just 4 circles kind of interlocking with one another, and it means nothing. Nightmare on Elm Street gave me nightmares. I used to love horror films. Nightmare on Elm Street was a perfect horror film, and the amazing effects, even for nowadays. I can't watch a horror now. Well, the trouble is they've taken into being too realistic, haven't they? My favourite, the kind of horror film I would quite like to watch and would actually quite enjoy would be the old Hammer House of horror. I cook this chili, I cook the chili, I could happily sit and eat that whilst watching something like that afterwards. But they fell out of fashion quite badly, didn't they? And you just don't see them anywhere. Not that I go looking in the first place. When Nightmare on Elm Street came out, I lived on a road called Elm Street, and I wasn't allowed to watch it, so I had to go to my house, my friend's house, further up Elm Street. Steve W says, I was a big fan of Cloverfield, but not many people liked it. And District 19, not horrors though, not something I've even heard of. Modern day horror is just gore for the sake of it. Horrible, says Simone. Yeah, it's not very imaginative, is it? I don't like it when people say it is what. Oh, right, yes, brilliant, Windy. I don't think that I would ever really be using a phrase that would actually annoy you that much. It is what it is quite possibly one of the most meaningless things that anybody can say. Yet, almost everybody says it an awful lot because it seems to it cuts out an explanation, doesn't it? But you normally see it when somebody can't be bothered explaining something, or by saying it is what it is. It's like that covers all of the things I haven't told you about this car or this washing machine that you're going to find out. Just that one phrase, and it seems to be like almost like a get out of jail card for people selling dodgy goods. Oh, whistle ear. Thank you, Windy. Cloverleaf was amazing. I don't like monster films, but that was great, says the Greenwood. I don't like let's just see what happens. That's basically, we might end up screwed. Hopefully not, but let's try. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, yeah, or jog on. I think that makes people sound rude, dismissive, or derivative. Well, it is, isn't it? That's why. Yes, Steve. Stuck it in C. Oh, remember me, says Canadian Ball. Honestly, no, I don't think so. But then you could have actually changed your name in the meantime. So how long ago was that when you left a comment or came into a live stream or whatever else it was? Ugh. Makes me wince. Ah, yes. Oh, that's another one you get all the time, isn't it? Can I get a can of Coke with that? No, you can't. Not until you're employed by the shop. You're not allowed around the counter. Oh, one of mine, yes. I like cowboy films, says Windy. I like cowboy films as well. I've not seen one for years. The old spaghetti westerns were fantastic. But, I mean, it's all about... When I was growing up, we had a black and white TV in one of the bedrooms, and it would be a treat if you could watch a bit of TV after you were supposed to be going to sleep or something. Nowadays, everyone's got TVs in bedrooms, and it's probably not really a good idea in the first place. But I just think back to times where you put this old TV on and you'd end up watching an old spaghetti western, and the picture was shocking. The sound wasn't particularly good, but it was just a real sense of occasion. And that makes me want to watch one now. Can't think of any. Well, obviously The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is probably the most famous spaghetti western ever. I love old horror compilations like The Vault, Dr. Terror's, House of Horror. I think they're all Hammer or similar. The difference is that any horror film, it's not real, but those kind of horror films from the 70s, they're not real, they don't look real, and they don't look like they're taking themselves too seriously. Right, now I'm fasting to try and stop eating rubbish on an evening, says Steve W, and keep my gut in check. I always feel better in the morning when I've not eaten the night before bed. Oh, I made the airline edit. Okay, yes, I do remember that one, of course. But there's just so many names to remember. Remember. Does anybody else find this though? But if you go to bed, if you have yourself something nice and substantial in the evening, you always wake up really hungry. Whereas if you don't, you don't. Or is it just me? I'm going to just take care of this again for a little bit. By giving it a little mixy up, etc. Now my peppers are starting to lose their colour. That's what happens when they're cooked. if you didn't know. Bit of the old balsamic vinegar in. And then also, I'm just such a big fan of ginger. Just proper ginger. It's just really, really good. So I'm going to add a bit to it, even though it's not really necessary. I'm doing it because I want to, as I've just said. Hang on, I'm not sure that's... No, it hasn't got any... The ginger's been in the fridge for weeks, and bits of it are starting to go mouldy. So I've been cutting the mould off. I don't want to waste it, see. Then, don't exactly use loads of ginger, even though I like to use ginger, I don't exactly use loads of it. Because you don't use loads of it. And I'll leave it another sort of 15 minutes or so before putting the tomatoes in. And come back, read a few more comments, have another cup of tea, etc. I find it really annoying when people bang on about hashtags in videos. I couldn't care less about them. Bang on about, oh, what would they say, hashtag? Yeah, I get you there. When they use the word hashtag. I mean, obviously you use the old, what I consider as being the number sign as a tag in front of a word, and that's helps get, well, people searching will find it because of that. That's the old hashtag thing, but using the word, not good. Have you ever encountered the works of Eric Frank Russell? It's generally about science fiction. I don't think I have, actually. The trouble is, there are so many works of literature, music, art, film, etc. that you're lucky if you get to sample a great deal of it, really. Once you start knowing about the thing, then that's really what you do. You don't really have anything other than, the arts. And although I enjoy them, they've never been something that I've really followed very much. Smash the like button. Ring that bell, says Steve W. Yeah, okay. Smash, yeah. You don't smash it. Just click on it. And do click on it as well. Because by clicking on that like button, you can help my live stream smash into more people's faces. May I comment? 315 to humour. It's awfully good. Yes, you may, Windy Miller. I twitch when people say lol. When they say lol, I'll just write it out though, and it's another one. I used to have that sense of occasion when we had a bath on Sunday night. Was it just Sunday night you had a bath then? I suppose, 40 or 50 years ago, people didn't really have baths or showers every day, did they? Because we didn't really have showers, so having a bath was a bit more of a commitment, and it was a bit more of something that you probably couldn't be bothered to do. So you'd save it up for the whole week, get your grotty body in the old porcelain bath? No, enamel bath, and scrape a bit of muck off. Whereas now, of course, it's just a shower's just a couple of minutes in and out. But apparently, we take too many showers anyway. It's not good for us to shower that often. If I smash the like button, then it's not going to work, and I won't be able to like any videos. The Wicker Man, yes, Greenwood, yes, The Wicker Man is considered a horror, but it's too good to lump it under that genre. The director's cut is excellent. The Wicker Man is definitely one of those wonderful films. Very, very dated now. And I like the way Peg and Frost were always influenced by films like that when it comes to doing their stuff, and they just rip bits off of it everywhere. They just rip bits off of movies absolutely everywhere. Films, not movies, but of course they make them comedies, so that makes it okay. I mean original, yes. Steve, guilty. I guess it could also be taken out of love. And I don't know what you mean. Sorry, Dino Dad. I like Signs as well. I like Signs. Oh, is that another film? Girl, bad cooking up. Sorry, not bad girl, dad cooking up deliciousness. What's up, mustard? Everyone in chat. What's cooking? Cooking is chili. Taking my time with it as ever. Taking my time so I don't have to eat it straight away. But as you probably agree, most things like this are best cooked taking your time. Cook it whilst you're not hungry. And then when you are hungry, it might be ready. I can't eat this late in the evening. Shitting through the night for sleep is just plain weird. I can't say as I've ever had that problem. I've just always I prefer to eat quite late on it. In fact, if I don't eat something like this at about 11 o'clock, then I'll want a bag of nuts, and I'll just eat the bag of nuts. And then, of course, the next day, it's like pooing gravel. But at least it's clean. Again, not a horror, says Steve W. But my wife, who loves horror films, can't watch it as it's too scary. I don't get it. It's more suspense. Tracy, I assume that you mean the original Edward Woodward. I reckon that's what she means. That is the one I like too. Straw Dogs. Oh gosh, here we go again. More messages coming through. Straw Dogs is a nice film to watch if you've got a week in Cornwall booked. And the problem is, I've never watched Straw Dogs, so I don't really know what you mean, but I'm sure there's a good joke there. Oh, Brit Eklund. Yes. Brit Eklund was in that film that we were just talking about then. What's it called again? The Wicker Man. That's it. She was in The Wicker Man, wasn't she? They used a body double for most of the nudity and overdubbed her voice. Yeah. So, in other words, Brit Eklund was happy for people to think that was her body there, but she didn't want anybody to see the real thing. Or her voice. Not sure I get that. Not sure I get why. Windy Miller says, I like it when people put their website on their van or a bus or a piece of paper. They don't work like that. Hang on. I like it when people put their website on their van or on a bus. Ah, right. Or on a piece of paper. They don't work like that. I never say that to any of the subscribe, like videos stuff in my videos. I never say that in any of that subscribe, like button stuff in my videos, says Joe. Now, perhaps you should, because it is useful to have a little reminder for those people that probably would like your video or subscribe to your channel, but haven't really thought of it. Maybe, though, the difference is that if you're doing something that somebody watches and they love it, they're going to do that anyway. But if they just like it quite a bit, they might subscribe if you tell them to do, or, give them that option. Remind them that that's something they could do. So, unless you are absolutely amazing, which obviously you're not. Sorry, Joe. I think we all have to do it a little bit. Then it looks funny when you start tapping them the side of the fan. That is fun. Well done. Excuse me whilst I start making a cup of tea. Or coffee. Whatever it's to be. Coffee. The reason for drinking coffee is that I can just come and sit back down again without a double visit to the other side of the kitchen. That's ready. That's ready for the tomatoes to go in, and I'll put them in just one moment. Let's have a cook collaboration, Mustard, says Girl Dad cooking up deliciousness. Well, yes, let's, but how? How? What can we do? What can we do? How can we do this? Let's discuss. Let's put some suggestions up. Bang, 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 it's not working. Fear not, for Emma is here, waving her melons around with much bravado, says Emma Lemon. 4 lemons as well. When I was a kid, a shower was a luxury. Amazingly enough, this evening, I'm actually starting to feel hungry because of cooking. Normally, it has the opposite effect on me, where I end up not really wanting to eat. But tonight, it's up to you. Do I catch up with these comments first? It's not going to do this any harm, is it? Oh. No, sorry. So, do you know? So you ask for more their van to move their van in case there are parts where there's no signal, and they tell you to jeff off. The trouble is, what you find is everywhere you go, people don't really have that kind of sense of humour, do they? They're more still finding it funny when. The one thing that really bugs me these days is when you have short clips of somebody who's crashed the car a bit or something like that, and someone goes, "Can't park there, mate." And you know, the original thing wasn't even mate anyway, it was "Sir, you can't park there, sir," because it sounded like a proper old police constable. So let's not even talk about that. Let's not even talk about that. But that's what most people find funny, so it seems. You actually give them some sort of a joke that requires a bit of an imagination, and it goes way over their head. Zzz. Lovely Emma Lemon. Shaun of the Dead is a great film, says Rover Joe, and it is. It's fantastic. It's one of those films that I've seen quite a few times, and I can still really enjoy it. And the same goes for the one that came after that. What was that one? The one that came after, one of the village, the wonderful village place. Hot Fuzz, that's it. And Hot Fuzz is where you can clearly see an awful lot of the Wicker Man stuff going on as well. I'm a big fan of Simon Pegg, says Hooked on Classics. And he is great, and he looks like my brother as well. Nobody else agrees with this, but my brother and Simon Pegg look very, very similar. Don't know why. Peter P, the theme park hall. Hi, Captain Mustard. Now introducing her to me is here and says, what's going down? Maybe the same as what's going up, but at a different day. What was the one where James Bond got stabbed in the neck by a model village? Ah, see, yes, exactly. That could be another thing in there as well because, yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that's it. He got stabbed in the ear. He fell onto a church spire and it jabbed him through his neck. Great character otherwise. Well, great character. Run Fat Boy Run is a brilliant film. Never seen that one. Do you really? Avan Sishu. No, I think you've told me this before actually. I disagree about The Wicker Man. I don't think it's dated, but it feels like the island has been stuck in a time warp with its old religion. I think when I'm saying it looks dated, it's because it is very 70s in its filming with all the. It's very hippie-ish, isn't it? All the singing going on, things like this. I mean, it's all well cult-like, isn't it? Because that's exactly what it was. Now, Hot Fuzz. If I was to go and watch a film afterwards now, that would be the one. That's the one. I like that one. Right? Yes. A brilliant film. Is a spirited animal in that film. Brit's voice was overdubbed because she couldn't do a Scottish accent. Okay, that makes sense. I'm a sucker for a sci-fi film. Interstellar is good, says Dino Dad. Texas Chilli is the best. Great video today by the and thank you again. Thank you again. I think these two people are going to be going to bed actually. Oh no, don't come downstairs that way. Papa. Yeah, no, you know it's a bit dangerous doing that. No. Amelia, come on. Papa. Come on. Oakley, come back. Right, come on, stop being silly. Oakley. Oakley? You called Oakley then? Right. Isn't it bedtime? No. I think it is. It's 10 to 10. Can you go back up? Bye. Bye. Oh, sorry. Time to bung in these tomatoes, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bung in the tomatoes. Tin tomatoes. What a great invention. And I do mean that. They're a great invention. Oh, now, I mentioned this before as well actually, but what I really like to do is part the stuff to one side like that, so you can have a nice area that's got nothing going on except the oil running back into the pan, and then turn the heat up a bit, bung the tomatoes in, and it sizzles away. It's lovely. Now, who agrees with me? Who agrees with that, and who remembers me saying that before? We ready? Going to pop up the stairs and say good night. Right. Goodbye. You two boys. Bye-bye, Annie. Bung it all in. And then what I always do, fill this up with water. Once it gets back bubbling away again, just put the water in there, let it simmer. And we're almost at that point there anyway. Yeah, in fact, it is. It's kind of there. This simmering thing is a nice. Oh, hang on. Yes, we'll put the bit of cinnamon in as well, and the other. I'm going to put the other couple of ingredients as well, and then I'm just going to let it simmer for 20 minutes or so. By the way, I won't be doing 2 hours tonight. I'm going to finish off a bit early. We've got something else to attend to. So probably another 20 minutes and that's it. So I hope anyone that likes longer live streams isn't going to be too disappointed. Right, there we go. That can be turned back down again. I'll bung the other bits in there once I have another break from reading comments out, because I mean this suits me quite well to just do a bit of something, then read a comment out, then do something else, because the strain on the old eyeballs with wearing glasses is not particularly good. Yeah, so we ought to Emma's comment there. I'm going to do more videos like that. Not because people like them as such. I mean, they do, but not because I'm trying to do things that people like. But I want to do things that kind of get something off my chest somewhat, and that did, and I really enjoyed sort of placing the pieces and just I messed about with the colour ever so slightly. I made it ever so slightly more blue, which it was a wonderful day to just go up over the hills to film that. With a blue sky by itself isn't really good enough. You've got to have clouds as well. When you have the clouds, then you get something really visual. And as I go about making stuff like this, I do spot an awful lot of things. I think that's going to look really good if I do this and I do that with it. It's not all by accident. But anyway, there are a bunch of other topics that I really fancy talking about, and I'm going to take the time with them. So the next video, a bit like that, might be another week off. But I'll make sure it's quite good. I'll make sure that you like it, and I am very grateful for the amount of people that have said so many nice things today, actually. And I won't say that I wasn't expecting it, because I thought this is actually going to work. This is going to get people are going to get this. But when they tell you that they do as well, it really does mean something. Windy Miller says, if you go to the tip and see something in there that someone else has thrown away, but you could use it, should you be allowed to take it? It's up to the tip, isn't it? Because often you see things that have been discarded that you think, I don't like that. Not that I've been to the tip for a while, actually, but I have seen that. You know, in Australia, we had to pay to use the tip. I didn't know that. I guess maybe we should have that. No, let's not encourage it, but there are things that people chuck away that maybe could just be reused or given to somebody else. That's where it would make sense. Steve W, yes, I think you should. They frown upon it, though. Oh, right, yes. I've tried taking some cardboard boxes from the recycle tub on the council when they moved house, and they told me to leave. That's not very nice, is it? I reckon it's all right. Yeah. Sabrina Quinton says, hello, Captain. Hello. Cats meow. Ranch or blue cheese for chicken wings? I don't know, actually. I don't really think cheese goes with chicken myself. The tip round our way is big. It's a big Ooh, right. Oh, the tip around our way has a big list of stuff you can't do. You can't leave stuff outside. No petting or no bombing. You're not allowed to take anything. Petting or bombing in a tip. I've never heard of that before. Majid Motagi. Hi. Hello. That reminds me, the bins need to be put out, the green one too. Blue bin and cardboard for me, but not Friday. All right, okay, you're from Iran. Welcome from Iran. I like people from all around the world watching my live stream. All right, have you watched the movie Threads? Asks Cats Meow. The nuclear war movie focused on the UK. No, I haven't, but I've seen clips of it. Now, is it really good, or is it not so really good? Oh yes, that's the worst horror film. I'm still traumatized. Ooh. Having Hi from Somerset, UK, says Avin Ashit. That's enough to get me wanting to rate names again. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. Well done, thank you. Would you prefer to listen to songs by Samantha Fox or Sabrina, the Italian Samantha Fox? Is that what she was known as? I don't know, Wendy. Made up the road from me was Hot Fuzz. It was Somerset. Yes. Did you say Somerset then? Yes, Somerset. Yeah. Well, it's what it looks like. Dunja says hello, Dunja. Threads was too real. We actually used nuclear drills at school to this day, and I'm not sure that holding our desks would have saved us. Hiding in our desks, rather. No, I don't think it would have. No, it wasn't Windy Miller. Please don't repeat the same comments. Thank you. Somerset. I was maybe 9 or 10 when we were being taught that hiding under the sofa would maybe save us from nuclear weapons. But they also taught us that what happened in Hiroshima blew all the sofas. Wendy says, I wonder how Hot Fuzz would have worked out if it was filmed in Pakistan. I'd watch it. Tracy, out come full circle. It's come full circle now at school. They do lockdown drills in case of a nutters on site. Yeah, very different reason, but mind you, schools these days are like they're like prisons, aren't they? They have fences around them. They're all locked and everything. They're all very secure. When did that start happening? I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but in the UK we don't really get these kind of problems that of people turning up with guns, do we? But even so, all the schools have there's like security gates everywhere, and I don't know this for definite, but I reckon on the high schools, don't they have like cards to get in and out. Indeed, Windy Miller, says the Greenwood, was a scary time. My dad was a sound engineer and one of the voices for the Protect and Survive advisory programs. He signed the Official Secrets Act against the Karachi cops. Should have said Protect and Survive. Sticky keys are. Protect and Survive. I was trying to remember those films, what they were called. School films were ace. Hide from the nuclear bombs under the table. 50 ways to die. 50 ways to die on a farm. Is that a real one? Is that a real? Is that a real public information film? That one. If it is, it probably wasn't. Probably wasn't called that, was it? Sofa versus Nuke. Cold War lessons were wild. Oh, Carl Davis is here. Hello. Good evening, Carl Davis. How lovely to have you here. Hello all. Hello, Chef Mustard. And yes, I'm doing my chefy bit tonight. So as you can see, there is a pan there with some stuff going on. The boy from space. Was your dad the one with the scary formal RP voice? Received pronunciation. Hi, Carl. Hi, Carl. Hi. No, I wish. He was a random radio announcer or something. Patrick Allen was the main voice. That era produced a lot of amazing songs of the nuclear threat. I don't think having a scary voice, says Windy Miller, from You'll Be In You'll Inevitably Die film would be a father, would be so great. What's that? Is that the animated one where they, under the door, gradually get sick? Imagine being woken up to catch a ferry to France at 4 p.m. in that voice. out of their hands, yes. No, that's where the wind blows. We're talking about government guidelines. But see, there's about 3 or 4 different conversations going on here at the moment, and I'm just trying to read out what's going on whilst thinking about possibly talking about my food again. See if I can catch up before I get on. Went to the X Factor. My tip: people think there's as soon as it's right. My tip: I think it's there's as soon as it's crossed the threshold of oven. My mistake, says Windy. Petting and bombing was at the swimming baths. Having a shit says, are you allowed to take directly from fellow tippers' hand or car? I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do. Becomes their property when placed down. I was 10 mil socket. Right. That's who you used to be. I remember as a kid, says Dino Dad, public baths had no petting sign and was quite bemused as to what it actually was. Oh, looks like there's some trouble going on. Trouble in the group. Trouble in the rover group that I head. That I have other people being good enough to run it most of the time. Okay, I'll have a look at that in a bit. If someone has something good to tip, and the normal people do. And hey, if someone has something good to tip, oh, right, I think you missed a word out there. If someone has something too good to tip, people and the normal people fight. Yes, let's have a fight over it. Bins are out, success, good. They certainly take a share. I've heard that modern horror films, Hostel and Hills, are pretty bad. I haven't. I've never heard that ever. Not as bad as Roadhouse remake. I haven't seen the first one, but I bet it's cack. Me too, Dino Dad. And Jackie Hammersley decided to try it out for some reason, and I got chucked out. Are we talking about bombing or petting there? The hills of eyes. My girlfriend's family look at the cast. I often refer to them as such. Right, having Ashit, I think you should be coming into this live stream again. Does your girlfriend look like them, or was she adopted? Toodles, I hope you'll have a peaceful night, says Charlotte. Yes, thank you very much for being in, Charlotte. 6 foot between the eyes. Right. I'm going to quickly catch up because I'm going to finish this live stream off very, very quickly. And I want to just see where we're up to. Oh, Orchard, can we see the fishes? Yeah, there we go. Well, I feel terrible about this. Hey, dude, my friend told you to get off YouTube, says Slave123. Oh, gosh. Not another one telling me to get off YouTube. Is that because you think, unless you can't go on YouTube unless somebody gets off first? Well, in that case, I'm going to hold on to my spot. Right. Okay, right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to carry on with the old cooking bit here, which is there, and then I'm going to finish up. It smells all right, actually. Yeah, it smells all right. Chilies. Put in some whole chilies and some chili powder as well. That's the trick. Can't use that one. It's starting to go off a little bit, actually. They don't last forever. Even in the fridge, you get one that starts to go a bit nasty and then suddenly the whole bag's going bad. Oh, that one's got a bit in there as well. One more then, one more. I'm not overdoing this with the chilies at all. What I decided to do is just split them. That you might do with a jalfrezi. So split whole chilies, in they go. And then I have a bit of chili powder as well. If I can find it. Where's it gone? Chili powder, bum, 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 bum. Where have you gone tonight? Chili powder, I must be in there. Just like there, where's it? Where's my chili powder? There it is. Chili's really good with potato. Baked potatoes are my favourite one for chili. But if I've actually been making that quite a while earlier on. There we go, plenty in there. Don't you worry, it's proper chili this. Oh, and these need to go away as well. Oh gosh. Right, so as we can see, it that's not too far off being just right. And the last thing I put in is actually the kidney beans, because they're already cooked. And because they're already cooked, they're going to go really, really sloppy. You have a look at the fish while I do this. Look, more people coming along now. That's because I said I was going to go. I said I'm going to go, so that means we better stay then, haven't we? Okay, and in they go. Now, remember I mentioned something about a couple of other ingredients that was going to go into this? Well, I'm about to do them now. And those ingredients are tiny bits of cocoa powder, why isn't it coming out? Well, that wasn't too much. And then, final ingredient, a little bit of mango chutney. And then, that is basically it. More than that. Well, almost it. Needs a bit of stirring up. Leaving to simmer for the kidney beans to warm through, etc. Probably take a picture of this and stick it on the community part of the YouTube land screen. And that is it. I've finished. So what I'm going to do quickly now is just have a look to see if there are any other really important or relevant comments to read. And then go. And then go. Okay? Oh, that one again. The old skid bitty thing. I get an awful lot of messages at the moment as well. That's the trouble, which is a bit distracting. Awful lot of messages on, Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Some of them I can see something going on, some trouble to go and deal with, and then it looks like I've got other people wanting either parts or to complain that I haven't got parts or something like that. And it's all rather, well, there's not much I can do about it at the moment. But anyway, oh right, that was real. The 50 Ways to Die on a Farm film was called Apaches. There's 3 YouTube Apaches. Oh, all deaths. Seem a bit over the top, but there you go. Does seem a bit over the top. Right, okay, I'm sorry I'm not reading everything out even more. Right, quite a lot of stuff to deal with here, so I'm going to have to go off and do that. So I am sorry, but I wasn't going to go on for quite as long tonight anyway. I just wasn't expecting to have so many things to go and possibly deal with. But thank you very much everyone for watching, joining in, liking the live stream, subscribing to the channel, commenting, etc. Thank you, it's all rather helpful indeed. And a special big thank you to Windy Miller for so many rather great comments tonight. And to the Greenwood, the biggest thank you of all for always keeping people in line. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.